Welcome back everybody to Just the Tip Tuesday. Today we are back again with the forest for a tip on the fastest way to get to the bottom of the sinkhole. Now last week I showed you the fastest way to get the modern bow since it got added in version 0.69. Today I'm going to show you a little bit more behind the trick I used to get to the bottom of the sinkhole with the least amount of effort. Now normally when you jump into the sinkhole, you plunge to your death, and it's a horrible death. You die, you break your legs, every bone in your body, and somehow you manage to live well enough that the cannibals can drag you back to their camp. But when you jump into the sinkhole using the turtle shell as a sled, something different happens. I was originally trying to launch myself into the sinkhole using the sled in order to land in the water, surviving my fall that way. On the first try though, I horrifically failed. On that attempt, even though I missed the water, I bounced and survived with no fall damage while using the turtle shell sled. Now as you can see, I have survived my fall from the top of the sinkhole to the very bottom using the turtle shell as a sled. I bounced and survived. I did not take any fall damage, and this trick currently works in the game as of version 0.69. So why does this work, you may ask? Well, I have a theory on why this takes place and why it makes a difference between the turtle shell sled and jumping down on foot. Now, when we enter a cave, there is a short little clip that occurs where we change over from outside the cave to the inside of the cave. To borrow a phrase from Empyrean Galactic Survival, in Empyrean, when you leave a planet or moon atmospheric zone, you enter into the space orbit around that planet or moon. The Empyrean devs call this changing playfields. Now in Empyrean, this plays a function in allowing to maximize server resources. I feel that the forest is done the same way because when you enter a cave, you have a switchover of a playfield from the main world section into the cave section. We also see this changeover occur as we fall into the sinkhole. So the first part of my theory on why the turtle shell sled works: as you pass through the threshold of the bottom of the sinkhole and you switch into that playfield, I believe your height counter gets reset. Now when you jump in like normal just on your feet, you'll notice as you pass through that threshold how high you still are. Because of the height you are at when that switchover occurs, I feel this is one reason why you would still die if you were jumping in on your feet. Now the second part of my theory has to do with the fact of how they implemented fall damage with the turtle shell sled. Once they applied the patch that caused fall damage to occur while using the turtle shell as a sled, I was playing around with it, having fun, and I noticed something then. I was sledding down a hill and launched off of a ridge onto a lower ridge about 1 meter below. Jumping from this higher ridge to the lower ridge, I take no fall damage at all, but I took fall damage while I was in the sled. I dismissed this at the time, but when I found I could jump into the sinkhole and survive in the turtle shell sled, I made a connection. So I believe when the devs implemented fall damage for the turtle shell sled, they did so with a calculation that took into account your forward momentum. So in a case such as this, you are falling down into the sinkhole, and by the time you land, your forward momentum is almost zero or completely zero. Now again, this is just my theory. I am in no way saying that this is exactly why this works. Now I did have one interesting occurrence with this that I feel validates at least my theory on the playfield changeover, where I launched into the sinkhole, bounced off of a ridge before passing through that threshold where the playfield's change occurs, and when I stepped out of the turtle shell sled, I died immediately upon my feet hitting the ground, because I was still in the original playfield, and at that point the fall height took full effect. In another instance, I was able to pass through that threshold where the playfield change occurs, and after bouncing one time, step out of the turtle shell sled and land safely with no fall damage. So that's it for this video. I just wanted to show you how you can still, as of this moment in version 0.69, use the turtle shell sled to get into the bottom of the sinkhole with the least amount of effort. When the new updates roll out, I will test this again and verify if it still works. Should this trick still work in a new update, I will update the notes and title to reflect that. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, if you got a lot of value out of it, be sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you hit subscribe and tick the notification bell to keep up with all my content during the week. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter to keep up with everything there, or just say hi. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you think of this trick and how you think the devs are going to end up fixing this in the end. Once again, this was Just the Tip Tuesday. I'm your host, Mr. Spicy, and thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video.